Okay, hello and welcome to today's video. Today, we just had some very shocking news, of course, that Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker are leaving Doctor Who. That's a showrunner and a doctor leaving Doctor Who, both announced in a day, pretty randomly to be fair. So we are going to be talking about not why they're leaving or what it means for the show just yet, but actually who will be the successors. I have a video on the 14th Doctor, but obviously I will make another one. But today we're going to talk about who is the next showrunner. So there's kind of three or four main people, and we'll start with Corey because he obviously has his favourite.
But one of the people I'd like to take over would be Jamie Matheson, the person that wrote Mummy on the Orient Express and Flatline, because Mummy is a very good episode. And Flatline's one of my favourite episodes of all time, so I think that he'd be really good. And I've heard about other things that he's written, and apparently they're all really good as well. So
yeah, and it looks like they're probably, I would assume, going to be taking someone from the show. If it's not someone who's already written for the show, I think that still could be really good. Actually bring some really fresh ideas and things to it. But I think it probably will be. So, Phonebox, who do you think it could be?
I'm thinking Pete McTeague, who's written, what did he write? Kablam, and he co-wrote Praxeus with Chris Chibnall.
Yeah. I think he could be likely.
I'm thinking that because he's had a decent involvement in the new series.
Both his episodes seem to do quite well, especially Kablam.
Yeah. Even Praxeus, even though it's not a perfect episode, it's still a decent episode. I know
People say it's
the
very good for his
companions
character
best.
things, so that's one of the main things Chibnall struggled with.
And he's also helped with the collection box sets and doing like little short films for that. So I think he's got something that could work.
And like you're saying with the short films and things, sometimes what they do is, they might sign him on to the BBC, not obviously announce it yet, but then because he signed on, he can't do anything. So they'd be like, okay, here's some short films you can go do before like your time is ready. So that could actually be like almost evidence in a way of kind of being like, hey, look, it's him. I think someone else who is likely, I can't say the name, is the person who did, the one who helped write Fugitive of the Jadoon.
Oh, Vinay Patel.
Yeah.
Not the name.
Because I think the reason why it could possibly be them is that we know that he was the writer to actually write and introduce the 14th Doctor and establish what the character is like. And that could be because obviously maybe that's the Doctor that he's going to be writing for, that's going to be his Doctor. So it makes sense for him to write her first episode and him to write the story where it sets her up and actually builds up what kind of Doctor she is.
Yeah, and that's like one of the biggest episodes of Chibnall's era as well. Yeah. So it would make sense for them to pick one of the people who's been involved in the bigger parts of his era.
Yeah, I think
definitely.
Another option as well could be the person who wrote. They wrote a few, but I know that they wrote the Doctor's Wife in Series 6. They've obviously been floating around even when Moffat was announced about them. But I think they could be a pretty good writer and definitely an opportunity.
Yeah. He wrote some good episodes. He also wrote Nightmare in Silver Witch. I know not a lot of people are the biggest fan of it, but there
was an interference on it, so it wasn't his vision really.
Yeah, I enjoy that episode anyway. So
yeah,
but I know a lot of people don't. But I reckon he could be good.
So, that's kind of who could be the next Doctor Who show. I think another option as well could be Phoebe Waller-Bridge. She's obviously, I don't think she's written for Doctor Who before, but she's done Killing Eve. She showrun that, just like Chibnall obviously showrun Doctor Who. So, she could be quite a big possibility, especially because, she's high up in BBC. Killing Eve has only one more season to go. He might have even finished filming, I don't know. But, it's going to be close to filming because I think it comes out maybe late this year or very early next year. So she'll have, about the time when Doctor Who would finish and when she could start jumping on with the time being when she finishes with Killing Eve. So her schedule lines up perfectly. But then again, you know, so does the people of Line of Duty. It could easily be people like that.
Mm. I think picking someone who not necessarily hasn't necessarily written for Doctor Who before, but is an experienced showrunner in other TV shows would be a good option.
Especially in a show like Killing Eve, where it's the same story like Doctor Who does, but like it's different story kind of every episode kind of thing.
Because they know how to structure a series. It's not like their first time doing it, which they did with both Moffat and Chibnall when they both took over. They'd already had showrunner type roles, because I think Sherlock had started when Moffat took over, or it was around the same time as when he took over. But
yeah,
and obviously Chibnall on Torchwood.
Yeah, Chibnall was basically the showrunner for Torchwood and Broadchurch. So yeah.
One final thing is that, like, you know, if they're picking a writer like Phoebe Waller-Bridge or the people who did Line of Duty, is, you know how it's obviously one continuous story, just like how Series 13 is. So maybe Series 13 could almost be like a test, and it's like, if that goes well, do it more like that, more like, you know, what you're used to writing, and then if it doesn't go too well, they could be like, okay, just do it in the kind of standard Doctor Who formula.
That's true.
yeah.
So that's pretty much it for this video. It's just kind of a short one about